Summer Spellman could soon receive a major lifeline in Coronation Street as the investigation into Theo Silverton's murder continues, with a potential new witness emerging who may finally be able to support her alibi. Summer is expected to face intense police questioning next week as detectives continue trying to identify who killed Theo. However, despite the growing suspicion surrounding her, upcoming scenes suggest there may still be hope for the troubled teenager. The character portrayed by Harriet Bibby has increasingly become one of the leading suspects in the dramatic whodunit storyline. This week's episodes also revealed that Summer had been offered a place at an American university, opening the possibility of a fresh start away from Weatherfield. Unfortunately for Summer, leaving the country may prove far more difficult than expected because suspicion over Theo's death continues mounting rapidly around her. One of the biggest problems comes from George Shuttleworth, who discovers a journal entry written by Summer in which she describes wanting to put a gun to Theo's head. The disturbing discovery immediately raises serious concerns about her emotional state and possible motive. However, scenes scheduled to air next Friday, May 22nd, will reveal Summer suddenly remembering an important witness who may be able to confirm her whereabouts and strengthen her alibi on the night Theo was murdered. The crucial question now is whether this mystery witness can genuinely help prove Summer's innocence and finally remove suspicion from her. If the witness succeeds in backing up her story, Summer could potentially be free to leave Weatherfield behind and travel to America to continue her university studies and begin a new chapter in her life. Elsewhere in the storyline, a guilt-ridden George eventually confesses to Todd Grimshaw that he informed Lisa about Summer's suspicious behavior, potentially helping to implicate her in Theo's murder investigation. The revelation is likely to create further tension between Todd and George as the pressure surrounding the case continues intensifying. Speaking about Summer's difficult situation, Harriet Bibby explained that being questioned by police over somebody's murder is an incredibly traumatic experience for her character. The actress revealed that Summer is effectively trapped in survival mode, desperately trying to stay calm while everyone connected to Theo struggles to avoid becoming the main target of suspicion. Bibby also acknowledged that Summer undeniably has understandable motives for hating Theo. She pointed out that Theo effectively took Billy away from Summer and also emotionally damaged Todd so severely that he is no longer the same person he once was. According to Bibby, the storyline ultimately raises a major emotional question for viewers. Would Summer actually go so far as to kill somebody in order to protect what remains of her family? Meanwhile, Coronation Street has already confirmed that Theo's real killer will finally be exposed later this summer. Producer Kate Brooks recently revealed that viewers will learn the truth during late June or early July, while warning that there are numerous believable suspects involved in the storyline. Kate also teased that the murder mystery will continue taking unexpected turns, with dramatic twists and completely new story directions designed to constantly mislead viewers and keep audiences guessing right up until the final reveal. Ben Driscoll exploded in anger during tonight's dramatic episode of Coronation Street after enduring an emotionally devastating week centered around shocking revelations about his family's past. The emotional fallout follows yesterday's explosive episode, which finally exposed Maggie Driscoll's long-hidden secret that she had accidentally caused the death of her husband Alan years earlier. After Maggie finally confessed the truth to Ben about what happened to his father, the revelation immediately created deep divisions within the family. Matters worsened further when Ben later told Eva Price the truth, ultimately leading to Maggie being rejected and effectively cast out by her loved ones. The family turmoil comes during an already difficult week for the Driscolls, following the ongoing grooming storyline involving Ben's son, Will Driscoll. Earlier in the week, Will officially reported his abuser Megan Walsh to the police, triggering further emotional chaos for the family. In tonight's episode, tensions inside the Rovers reached breaking point as Ben finally suffered an emotional meltdown. After furiously throwing Maggie's belongings out onto the street, Ben confronted her angrily and accused her of betraying him for years. He bitterly declared that she had spent her entire life disappointing people, especially him. Meanwhile, Steve McDonald felt sympathy for Maggie as she emotionally opened up to him. Maggie tearfully reassured Steve that both he and his brother Andy had always meant everything to Jim just as deeply as Ben and Finley mean to her. Steve later attempted to persuade Ben to calm down and listen to Maggie's side of the story, but Ben reacted furiously and insisted that the situation had nothing to do with Steve. He also criticized Maggie for confiding in him at all. When Steve pointed out that they were connected through family ties, Ben completely lost control. In a furious outburst, Ben ordered Steve out of the pub along with the other customers, venting his rage over how his entire understanding of his family history had suddenly been destroyed. After Steve attempted to lighten the mood by joking that it was not every day somebody discovered they had a new brother, Ben coldly rejected the idea and insisted that Steve meant absolutely nothing to him. The confrontation escalated further when Ben physically pushed Steve out of the Rovers before screaming at the remaining customers to leave immediately as well. Later in the episode, Ben shared a quieter and far more vulnerable moment with Eva, admitting that he felt as though he was failing at everything in his life and letting everybody around him down. Eva immediately tried to comfort him, firmly insisting that self-pity did not suit him, and reminding Ben that he was doing the very best he could under impossible circumstances. She emotionally reassured him that his efforts were more than enough for her, and made it clear that she still fully supported and believed in him, despite everything that had happened. Coronation Street has aired a deeply worrying series of scenes involving Sam Blakeman, as the teenager's frightening hallucinations continue intensifying in the latest early ITVX release. Sam's mental health has been rapidly deteriorating following the emotional trauma caused by manipulative groomer Megan Walsh and her victim Will Driscoll. Megan and Will had secretly been involved in an illegal relationship and were both determined to stop Sam from exposing the abuse. Desperate to prove the truth, Sam previously attempted to gather evidence against Megan by secretly placing a hidden camera inside her flat. However, the situation backfired badly when Megan cruelly threatened to accuse Sam of being a voyeur, leaving him frightened, isolated, and emotionally overwhelmed. He suffered another terrifying hallucination and imagined Will cornering him aggressively inside the ginnel. Panicking and attempting to defend himself, Sam accidentally smashed his telescope during the confrontation before later heading to Leanne's flat to continue revising for his studies. While the pair were playing chess together, Sam pulled a mysterious tracking device from his school bag and confessed his fears that someone might secretly be watching him. The episode later revealed the real explanation behind the tracking device, with viewers learning that Nick himself had secretly placed it inside Sam's school bag because he had become so concerned about the teenager's safety and well-being.